All right, so we're going to be down in the engine room today working on a accumulator pump, which I had no idea what this thing actually does, but apparently it's needed in our high pressure water system. Makes it flow a little bit better. So hopefully this is going to be an easy swap. So let's jump into it and see what we get. All right, so opening up the pump, looks like we have the pump itself, and this one I believe is the 1 liter made by Jabsco. So it's going to be replacing the one that we have up there on the wall. If you remember from the previous video, it was leaking at the bottom and then also leaking at the top. So going into it, looks like we've got a couple fittings. So I've got these two. So here's a serial number if it helps if you guys look it up. It looks like some hose barbs, and then I got a couple clips there to lock it down. And then looks like this is the quick connect fittings, which is probably the ones that I'm going to be using. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that one out of there, and then we'll see about getting it swapped out. It's gotta be through bolted. Why? All right, looks like the whole thing's coming down. The trick is I got to get behind these bolts here, but they're just spinning. So I'm guessing there is a bolt behind there that holds it together. But of course, it's holding it together. It's spinning behind there, so it's not allowing me to just remove the cap. So that needs to come off. I feel like I have to take this whole piece off, which is gonna suck. Let me see how I can get in there. All right, broke free. You got to be careful behind there because there's a lock washer and nut, or no, actually regular washer and a nut, so which was allowing that to just spin freely. So we're gonna switch that part out. Hopefully this should be a nice even exchange. Everything should fit. Yep, looks like it will. And make sure it doesn't leak. Here I've got this piece, which I don't actually have a replacement piece for that. It came with 2 threaded pieces with O-rings or 2 hose barbs. So this side is threaded, so I went ahead and removed that. My concern was I want to at least replace the O-ring. So what I'm going to do is take the O-ring off of the old one and then take the O-ring off of the new one and at least replace that. I feel like the part is fine, but I want to replace the seal, the O-rings that's going to go into that part. Just because if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right and not have any leaking, or at least prevented it as much as possible. So I'm going to throw some tape on here, see if we can get a good seal. For those of you that are not familiar with this system, so this is the freshwater system on the boat. All right, I think we're good there. All right. So it was not a direct fit. So you might see this is a little bit crooked. I drilled a new hole, but it looks like this piece might be just a little bit too long for using the hole on this side. So I went ahead and just adjusted it a little bit, but everything should still connect. It shouldn't be an issue, but we all know how that works. So let's see, I'm going to use 2 of the new connectors. That's the old part. I'm going to use two of the new connectors because they gave me new ones, and then I have 2 old ones. So I think I need think I need a total of 4, so we'll put the new ones in with the new part. That should hold that in. And then we need one of our old ones, or this over here. Put that back in. So now the water system should be up and running. I'm going to go ahead and screw it back down, and then we're going to flip the breaker on, test it, and see if we have any leaks. As you can see, we got all kinds of boat projects going on. Kaylin is working on the Flamingo from upstairs. Say hi, Kaylin. So we got this Flamingo for, you know, lighting up the boat, but we had problems with the fan on it where it just didn't really blow it up like you would expect. It's kind of sad. He looks like a drunken sailor on top. It just doesn't have the size or the girth, so he just doesn't blow up very well. So even so, like it's there, but you know, when you look at the penguin and then the toucan that we have upstairs, they look so much better. So we're not sure. We'll give it a little bit and let it run for a little while and see if maybe it gets better. All right, so Kaylin went up to turn the freshwater on. Go ahead and hit it. It is now charging itself. You can hear the motor running. You can see a drip already. I can see 2 drips. That's probably not good. Can you open up the sink? Okay. No, it's probably going to take a second to pressurize. Now we're starting to get some water. Wait for it. Turn the sink off for a second. That's okay, turn it off. And turn it back on. You can turn the fresh water off. So you guys can see we definitely have a leak right there. You can turn the fresh water pump off. So definitely does not like that angle that it was installed on. So I think we're going to have to go back to the drawing board on that one and see what else we can come up with. Alright, so on to project number 2. So you guys probably remember from before the oil change pump. Now I need to, so I bought a new pump, but I need to get the old, I'll call it the remains, out of here. I need to go ahead and see if I can get that out. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is actually remove the hoses. That might be the easiest way of actually pulling that out. So let me loosen up some of these hoses. I'm a little concerned because I know these hoses have been on here for a long time. So I don't really know what kind of condition they're in or what kind of hose they are. They look like some type of braided nylon hose, but I can't imagine that over the year they used a braided nylon hose. I feel like that would just degrade. So I'm very curious on the integrity of some of these hoses and how they're going to look. So might end up using a little bit of heat actually, just so I don't shock the hose and create an issue. This problem was kind of long overdue though. Been needing to do an oil change, so I kind of put it off, but I don't want to put it off anymore now that the weather's starting to get a little bit cooler down here in South Florida. It's no longer 100 degrees, so I think we're right around the 80s. maybe mid 70s right about now. But at night it gets down, so it's kind of nice. So you can see this is probably an original part, or this pump. This is the old exchanger pump. So, but they're all pretty solid on there. All right. Yep, looks like everything's going to be on there pretty tight. So what I don't want to do is have to cut anything. So I think I'm going to get some heat and see if I can pull all that stuff back and get at it that way. So, well, I don't know what this is made out of, but it looks like the hose is actually swiveling. So I don't know if there's a hose barb there or what, but I'm going to go ahead and pull this apart. Before I do, I want to get something that's going to catch some of this oil, because I know I'm going to have some residual oil down there. So let's get something down there so we don't make a mess. Alright, so we'll twist this off. It'd be really nice if I could reuse some of these parts too. Here we go. Oh, no oil. That's actually kind of nice. Well, that one came off nice and clean. So, but the other side looks like it wants to be a pain. Alright, got one more. That was really close to my foot. Alright, so we got that part off. So we'll trash that. We've got a little bit of oil dripping, but not too bad. I actually expected a lot more than that. So looks like we can reuse all of those fittings. Looks like everything can stay. So the new one is going to have 90s, so we're going to rewire it up and then get an oil change done. So if you guys want to see that one, it's going to be on the next video. Click on the screen on your, or click on the video on your screen, and I'll take you to the next one so you can see this pump back in action and up and running.